guys, back again for another video. We're doing no-knead bread. This is something I haven't done in a while. I'm kind of excited to try it out again. What you're going to need is bread flour, not all-purpose flour. This is King Arthur. You can get any brand you like. Just make sure it is bread flour and not all-purpose. Some sea salt. Sea salt has a better flavor than regular table salt. You could use regular table salt if that's all you had. Totally okay. Some water. In this bowl we have the bread flour and the salt and the yeast, which we're using instant yeast in this because we don't have to mix it with water to get it to sort of pre-ferment. This all goes in dry and then add the water, makes it a lot easier. So what we're doing here, this could not be a simple recipe. It just involves a lot of time, but if you start out the night before, you have fresh bread the next day, it's great. So there's all your ingredients. So what I'm gonna do now is, again, flour, salt, and yeast in the bowl, and we're gonna add the water. Okay, water's in. We're just gonna mix it to a shaggy dough. Stir it around, just until it all comes together. I like to use my hands. You can use a spatula, a spoon, whatever. I got no problem getting my hands dirty. Also, get the feel of what's going on a little bit more. So just mixing this up until it becomes all together. All right. In the event it's not picking up everything and you still have some stuff left at the bottom of the bowl, feel free to add a little bit of water just to get those last little bits to connect with the rest. Okay, I think that did the trick. Bread flour is very high gluten, high elastic, so it definitely absorbs a fair amount of moisture, and it will be very stretchy and what gives bread that nice crumb when it gets cooked. All right, so this is really all there is to it. It's a shaggy sort of dough right there. It's not like, you know, really well combined just yet. It's just enough to get it started. So what we're gonna do at this point is take this shaggy mess of dough, get rid of that bowl, and we're gonna bring a freshly oiled bowl into the picture and just drop that dough right in it. Just kind of toss it to coat. And we're gonna let this hang. I'm gonna put some plastic wrap over the top. Let this hang for about 12 to 14 hours overnight. Let it proof at room temperature, and this is gonna get everything activating, and then tomorrow, we'll take the next steps. Okay, so got my do not touch plastic wrap over here. Nobody mess with this. It's been overnight about 12, 13 hours. So we take the plastic wrap off and we're going to reserve that to cover the bread again because it will proof a second time. So it is doubled in size. It's very sticky and pretty soft. So we're gonna give it a couple folds and get it to rest that second time. Okay, so here we go. We're gonna get this out of the bowl onto a floured surface. Beautiful. Okay, little flour on top. We're gonna give this a couple of folds. Pat it down a little bit. You can fold it in half. And then fold it in half again. A little extra flour if you find it sticking too much. And then just sort of tuck everything underneath to form a ball. You do not need to really knead this at all. We're just shaping it. So see, everything's sort of getting pushed into the center. There's your seam right there. It's gonna be on the bottom. We're gonna keep this as round as possible. Just sort of moving everything to the middle underneath the ball. And then we are going to lift it up and put it on this pan. just like that. Make sure you got plenty of flour on the pan. Nice round ball of dough, looking good. Now we're gonna take that plastic wrap that says do not touch. We're gonna put that over the top and let this hang out for 2 more hours. So it's been about an hour and a half. You can see the dough's risen considerably, so we're gonna leave it hang out for just a little bit longer while we warm up the pot. So this bread is going to be baked in a Dutch oven. So I just so happen to have one. These are also available in any stores, whatnot. If you have a bread baking stone too, that would work, but kind of what you're looking for is to put the bread inside here, the dough, and put the top on, and it's going to create steam and give you a really nice crust on your finished loaf. Again, we're kind of in times where we kind of work with what we have, so I'm fortunate I got one of these things. If you do, great. If not, a stone. If not, heck, even a sheet pan, a cookie sheet, and you just spritz it with some water, or throw a couple ice cubes in on the bottom of the oven while it's cooking, and you should get a pretty similar result. Okay, so what we got to do with this pot is the oven is preheated to 500 degrees. And once that's ready to go, you put the pot in the oven for 20 minutes and sort of preheat the pot as you would a baking stone. All right, so we're gonna do that, and then I'll show you what to do next with the bread. So it's at 400 right now, and it's gonna be in the oven for about 40 minutes, and then we're gonna take the top off and continue to baking. The Dutch oven's coming out of the oven. It's totally hot, preheated. So we're going to take the top off. Whoa, smoky. All right. So at this point, we're gonna add the bread to the Dutch oven. Now we have to flip it over, which, see how that goes. All right. So just we're taking this off of the paper and right into the pot. Wish me luck.
Good luck.
All right, and well, bam. All right, that wasn't so bad. It's not like perfectly centered, but maybe I can shimmy it over a little bit. Oh, hey, look at that. All right, I think that's pretty good. That works. So we put the top on. So all this is baking. The whole key of this, doing it inside the Dutch oven, is it's very thick wall, so it's not gonna burn real easy. And you're gonna get the steam that's coming off of the bread, and that's gonna contribute to a really beautiful crust. So we're gonna set the timer for 40 minutes. Oh, very important. You wanna lower the oven temp at this point to 400 degrees, right upon putting it back in. And I'm going up, not down. Okay, 40 minutes is up. About to take the lid off and see what's going on under the cover. Oh wow, doesn't that look gorgeous? Not done yet though. Another 15 to 20 minutes to seal the deal, and this will be a beautiful loaf of bread when we're all done. So back in the oven, another 15, 20 minutes. All right, so back in the oven, top off, about another 15, 20 minutes, and that's gonna give it a beautiful, slightly darker finished crust. All right, here we go. Finished bread. Oh my God, look at that. Whoa, ooh, check it out. Whoa, my God. That is cool. See, it doesn't stick. You don't gotta worry about spraying it or nothing. So when you put that raw dough onto the hot pot, it just, like putting oil on a hot pan. Kind of forms a little layer so that it won't stick. Now we gotta get it out of here. So I think I'm just gonna do this. There we go. Voila, looks like you just went to the bakery, but we just made it ourselves. Isn't that lovely? Beautiful crumb, beautiful crust. We're gonna cut into it when it cools down, show you that a little bit later. But that's ideally 100% how it should look. Oh man, it just warms my heart.